KILR Killer Games.
Hello gamers and simmers and pilots. If there are any of you out there watching this really old simulator, I am the Killer Gamer and welcome to the World Tour. Well, it's not quite a world tour with the Amiga version, but it's connected with all the other videos that I'm doing based on Flight Simulator. So we're trying to match that world tour the best that we can with the Amiga. There's only so much coverage. But here we are. We're at Greater Peoria and we are in Scenery Disk number 9, which is what you can see down in the picture below the Amiga box. That's actually a Commodore 64 picture, but it's relatively the same. I'm not going to sit here and try to scan a whole bunch of things just to get the right thing. So anywho, let's go ahead and pull up our trusty map and talk about where we're going to go. Alright, so here we are, Greater Peoria, and here's where we want to go, Quad City. So we're going to be tuning in to the probably the best thing to do. We have the Greater Peoria VOR here, and I think at a radio of 310 should bring us like that. And then if we tune in the Burlington one and tune in, I'd say right about here. I don't know. No, I think 030 right here will give us an intersection point right around there. And from there we should be able to move ourselves around the airport and land. All right. So there we are, and we'll go ahead and get our radios tuned in now for that. So I think we can leave Greater Peoria where it's at right here, and we'll just change this setting. We want it to be 310. Okay, that should do it there. And then we're going to tune in Burlington, which is 1111. And change that to 0. These things are really tricky to... Come on. It's like click, 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 click. There. All right. We are all set to go there. Make sure my... Good. Alright, I was able to get everything set up back. It's like I have to reset everything when I start this again. It just doesn't save things the way you have them, and it's just a real pain. But so I've got my reels and everything set up for the mags and the elevator trim. So make sure that does work here. And that's the brakes. Which one's my elevator trim? I forgot. Elevator trim. Oh man. Is it these keys? Nope, not those. Oh wow. I don't remember. I don't remember which ones were the elevator trim. well. Ah, there it is. Okay. So this is the elevator trim here. It's the parentheses. So 9 and 0. That's how those move. Okay, good. All right. Well, we're all set. Let's go ahead and fix our flaps. We'll go ahead and turn this on. It's not real easy to try to make out what in the world is a taxiway and what is a runway in this. You've got the blue lines, but it's like, okay, am I inside the blue area or outside the blue area? And some airports don't have any taxiways at all. It's funny, when I was playing this in the Commodore 64 version, of how excited I was when something, an airport had taxiways. I was like, yay, I can actually get off the runway. We're kind of making our own taxiway at the moment. I think we're going to take off from this runway right over here. Which is the same one that we landed on. I've noticed that there's these red little pillars. I'm not quite sure exactly what they are. If maybe they're just beacons or something. I love how they put the thresholds in here. Whoa, 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 wow, 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 wow. It's like all of my controls are on the numerical keypad. Brakes, everything. Rudder. You want to talk about... you want to talk about a cramped up hand. The 3 and the 9 are the throttle up and down, right? And then you've got your 4, 6, 8, 2 for your ailerons and your not the rudder, but the other stuff. I can't think of it right now. The 1 key is actually your brakes. Your rudder is located on the 0 and the period. All on the numerical keypad. It's like you're walking around. How you doing? Oh, I'm just fine. My hand's a little cramped, but other than that, I'm good. think we should be good here. I was looking up the altitude for Quad City. It's sitting at 590. So we'll keep that in mind. In the meantime, it's time to take off. Landing gear up. Alright, we've got our autopilot set, so that's good. Meanwhile, I'm going to move out of here and see if we can't adjust the map a little bit so that way I can see it as we're flying. So, yeah, that's just all I'm doing, is just pulling up this map here so I can take a look where we're at. We should see Galesburg along the way. Oh. I'm going to go ahead and advance the time here. And advance it to 5. We'll say that we took a nap or something, you know, before our next flight. May not take us very long at this rate. So, I'm thinking this road, this yellow road here, is going to lead us out to Moline, Illinois, which is where Quad City is at. I hope the plane just doesn't go boom. Now, hopefully you're checking out the Flight Simulator 5 and Flight Simulator 98 versions of this flights, because now I'm doing something interesting and different in regards to air traffic and air traffic control. Flight Simulator 98 had what's called ProFlight 98, which basically compiled an adventure based on your flight plan and would generate air traffic control and would guide you to the airport and everything. And fantastic program. I loved it. I couldn't play Flight Simulator 98 without it. I think we'll turn this down here. The Flight Simulator 5 didn't really have any type of air traffic control that I could see, other than actual adventures that were created by users. So I guess there's still a way that you can manually do it, and I think you can do it with this Flight Shop. It's a big book here, so I haven't really gone too deep into here, but I think it talks about creating air traffic control. Of course, I think the only way I can get this to work is like in Windows 3.1, which I have working out of DOSBox. And then what I have that I'm using on both Flight Simulator 5 and 98, and eventually I'll be using it for Flight Simulator for Windows 95, which I haven't done any videos yet because I wasn't sure if I was going to make use of the simulator or not, but I did get it. Here it is. I've never had this is considered Flight Simulator 6. And I've never actually had this. I've had 5.1 on CD-ROM. And so I didn't think Flight Simulator 6 was much different. In a way, it's not. But if you compare Flight Simulator 5 and Flight Simulator 98, this is like halfway in between. Literally. I mean, it's got like the scenery, almost like the scenery database from Flight Simulator 98. With lesser airports, but then it still has like the panel, the Cessna panel from Flight Simulator 5. So let's see here. Just adjusting our okay. So yeah, what I got was this Real ATC, and I got this specifically for Flight Simulator 5, but it works for Flight Simulator 98. But it's not what you think. What this is ATC Chatter. It's got some aircraft that comes with it, but it's got Chatter. It does come with some new scenery also. And what's neat about it is that it's an adventure, and in order for it to work with Flight Simulator 5, you have to have Flight Shop installed, because that was the thing that created adventures. And it would change your radio frequency and tune in to whatever chatter was appropriate based on how your plane is set up. So if you're on the ground and your flaps are 0, then your radio will be tuned into ground. Now, when you put your if you're on the ground and you put your flaps in takeoff position, just basically like 1 degree or whatever, then your radio is tuned to tower, so you start hearing ATC chatter for tower. Once you lift off and you raise your landing gear, and you start climbing through 2000 above ground level, then the radio will switch over to departure. You see where I'm getting with this, right? So it'll change. It has all the stages there as far as being handed off from one to the other. You don't actually have any interaction, but you hear the ATC chatter, which gives it a nice, little feel like something's going on. But I've taken it another step further than that, since I've been able to locate where those wave files are out and pretty much which ones are approach and departure and stuff. That airport right there, I believe, is Galesburg. What I've done is I've gone to liveatc.net and I've located, not all of them have it, but gotten the actual ATC chatter from the real airports, downloaded those, converted them over to a compatible file format, and as far as it has to be in WAV format, it has to be like 88 kilohertz or something like that, and then I replaced it into the real ATC module expansion, whatever. And so that way, whenever I'm flying from or to an airport, now instead of just hearing generic ATC, now you're hearing it from the actual place that it took place at. So, like at Champaign, we were able to hear chatter from people say, "Hey, Champaign Tower." Another one was Bloomington Tower or Peoria. So it's cool. It really helps with the immersion aspect of it. Now, what I was going to say here. Not everything is recorded. So on those that aren't recorded, I just use the generic ATC chatter. And with Flight Simulator 98, there's a module that allows you to tie this into ProFlight 98. So that way you've got your interaction with ATC, plus you've got that as chatter in the background. And then when I'm changing up the WAV files with the stuff that's actually from the airports, oh, it really adds some neat realism to Flight Simulator 98. I had ProFlight 98 the first time around, but I never had this real ATC, and so, it just adds a really nice layer to it. Playing that simulator is just going to be loads of fun. What else? Where's my other thing at here? It's not it. Where's that box at? Wait a moment. There's a certain box that I'm looking for here. Why is it like things disappear? Have you guys figured that out? It's like you just had something and it like disappears and you're like, what the hey? Oh, maybe I put it down here. Yep, that's exactly where I put it. Okay. So I got this for Flight Simulator 98, and it's FS Traffic. Now this, there was no AI traffic program for Flight Simulator 98 at the time that you would think of now. This allowed you to record your own traffic. So you basically pick a plane and an airport, and you record a flight. Taking off, go so far out, stop the recording, and then the FS traffic will then, based on what you selected, will randomly choose the appropriate plane for that category, whether it be a jumbo jet or a prop or whatever, and will then play that recording back, so that way you've got the simulated air traffic in the skies. And so on 98, when you've got that, and you got ProFlight 98, you got the real ATC, you've got the real ATC chatter stuff that I'm downloading from liveatc.net. Man, all I gotta say is it's fun. It doesn't look sophisticated, but it's fun because of how immersive we're trying to make it. At least it's fun for me anyway, from a retro point of view. Alright, so we have another package that has come in here. So in this video, you will get to see me open this for the very first time. And I'll do this on some of the other simulators too. So this is to encourage you to watch the other videos, because you'll be able to see the first time that I get something. So if you're looking for like one of those box opening videos or something like that, it's going to be on several of my various types of flight simulator videos. Not so much on X-Plane or FSX, because everything that I'm getting for those are digital downloads. There's nothing physical to really show. But the old classic stuff, that's different. It's funny, I'm using one of those things for the back of a tower case. Because I can't find my scissors! I had them in here, I don't know what happened to them. Alright, just when you think you have this thing open up enough. There we go. Alright, what do we have here? Oh good. I hope this has got what I need. If not, I'm going to be irritated. Alright. So, what's ironic with Commodore 64 and with the Amiga, I'm flying those two simulators first, because I figure the simulators that came after that are going to have those airports plus have more to them. Not so. With Flight Simulator 5, although it had more airports to kind of cover to get you across the world, as a result they took away airports in order to add airports around the world. So for example, Greater Peoria was not in Flight Simulator 5. Quad City is not in Flight Simulator 5. And some of the other places that we're going to are not going to be in Flight Simulator 5. And like and Iowa, the state of Iowa. The only thing there was I forget. There's only one airport listed for Flight Simulator 5, and it's like, well, crap. Some people have made scenery for some areas, and some have not. So I had gotten this, right? Scenery and Object Designer, which is made by Apollo, and it only has the disc in there. There's no manual. I'm like, wait a minute, you gotta have a manual with this thing. Now, fortunately, I started to figure it out because I have another piece of software. Pull this up here, which is basically a collection of third-party stuff, and that's Pilot Shop. And this had something in here called BGL Generator, which allows you to create airports and stuff through a text file, and then the BGL Gen was a DOS program, a DOS command that would convert it to a BGL file. And as I started using that, I started to understand the Scenery and Object Designer program a lot more, because it's just basically an interface for that BGL generator is really all it is. But it would still be nice to have a manual, because there's some stuff in there I'm just kind of like, I just don't know. So the fact that it didn't have a manual just was, I'm like, how could it not have a manual? Well, here's this. I got another copy of it. This is supposedly brand new, never opened. It's sealed. It's a little crushed, but I mean, did y'all see? Look at this. This is the manual for Flight Shop, okay? Now you're going to tell me something for the Scenery and Object Designer is not going to have a manual? Come on. Because I asked the guy who sold it, I was like, where's the manual? And he was like, well, they usually put stuff, you know, in a text file. I'm like, nope, they didn't do it for this one. But this has got some weight to it. This has definitely got weight to it. So I believe there is a manual in here. And once I get this sucker opened, because yeah, I'm beginning to see that on Flight Simulator 5 and probably Windows 95. No, maybe not Windows 95 so much, since it's using the scenery database from Flight Simulator 98. But I'm going to have to create my own airports. I wish I could do it for the Amiga, the Commodore 64. But don't think that was meant to be. Sure enough, it's in here, just as I thought. Oh, and this is on floppy disk. Oh, that's funny. Or does it have a floppy disk and a CD? I don't know. Yep, it has a book. That's what I thought. Sweet. Half of this, I think, is German. But still, I mean, we're talking about like a manual that's like got 100 pages in it. I mean, you absolutely had to have a manual with this thing. Okay, this does have a CD-ROM in here. My goodness, the one that I got was not a complete package at all. Oh, this is README. So it comes with a README dock, or it's a box opening time. So it comes with a README dock. Why is this the only thing on this disc? I have no idea. Here's the CD-ROM, and it is, wow, like literally this thing is brand new because it is sealed in here. I don't even have to open it up. I have the other one. I have whatever this is. And that's it. That is all that's in this box. The manual was the one that I was really, really wanting. But, yep, we have it. I'm actually going to take that manual out of here. See, not only is this a flight, a worldwide flight, but my goodness, there's going to be, I'll have to be creating airports. We'll be doing reviews of things. So, yeah, this isn't just flying. And if you check out the X-Plane version is like my final, my final contribution to the World Tour, and it's kind of like the granddaddy little cherry thing on top. So that one, what I do is when I get to the airport, I will do a little thing of, let's take a look at the real airport. Let's check out what are the things that we can do in Quad City or Peoria. You know, what kind of special things are around there. So I try to get even more immersive with the X-Plane, and it's kind of like for me, because I'll never be able to fly to these places. So, but for me to be able to do it in Flight Simulator, and then just take that one extra step, as far as, hey, let's take a drive around town. You'll use Google Street View for that. Let's check out this restaurant. Let's go do this or that. So that's kind of like my granddaddy video that I wrap everything up with. And so doing the world tour with that and the photorealism and stuff, and just going around the world, and this is just going to be just a really neat series, I think. But it's going to be neat for me, and I hope for those of you who are watching, I hope you're enjoying it too. Shouldn't we be seeing the airport? This is why I've got our map set up the way we do. Okay, well, we know we've left Peoria, we've passed Galesburg, we're tuned in to 111.40. This is not centered yet, so let's pause that. Let's pull up the map so that way you can see here. 111.4. Okay, so right here we're tuned into Burlington, right? And we said that, okay, we're going to tune in at this 030 radio right here. But we're tuned in to the grid of Peoria, and we're going this way. So when that needle centers, we should be right around here. And I think we passed it. Now that I'm looking, we passed it. I think we passed the airport. We flew right by it. All right, let's change course here. Let's tune into Moline, which is 114, or yeah, 114.4. No, wait a minute, that is what we're tuned into. Hold on. We're going to figure this out. We're going to figure out where we're at. .114. Yeah, I'm going to tune this. We're going to tune this in, and we're going to see where we are. All right, let's. Whoops. Man, this thing is like not working the greatest. Okay, so 180. Okay, so we're tuned into Burlington 114, 188. See, the back course is 08. So we are, oh whoa, we're over here. We definitely passed it. I don't know about you, but I don't remember seeing it. Do you? Okay, we need to turn back around. We should be close to the Moline. The Moline of Vor. So if we were to, is it 2-1, 2-4, 2-3, 2-2. Yeah, we'll say 220 Quad City or the Moline. We're going to tune that in and turn around, and we'll do a back course. Maybe we should be able to tune into this Port City right here. What is that? 30. Okay, so we'll use this 120. Man, I don't know where the heck we're at. All right, how about this direction? All right, we'll try to catch 090 radio of Port City, okay, right here, and then we'll tune this in, and maybe 240, and hopefully we'll get an intersection point around here, so we should be able to hopefully see the airport. All right. Yeah, this is fun. So Quad City 114.4. That's the comm radio. 4. Well, we're not too far away from it. All right, 108.8. Oh, dang it. That's not the right one. 108.8. How come Port City's not tuning in? 108.8? It should be. There it is. We are turning ourselves around here. It's probably right up there. So I bet this is Moline. See, good learning thing here. Since we don't have a radar or anything to check. There's the map view, but that only works so well. I mean, you can zoom out, but if you're not near the airport, it's not going to show it on the map. I think the map works well when you're like really close to the airport, or if you're at the airport and you can't really see where the taxiways or stuff are at and you need something to guide yourself around. That's where that comes in handy. Okay, I see some life coming from this needle here. And it's possible we flew right by and we weren't next to the area where it would load from the floppy disk. It's like we were close, but not close enough for it to load. And so therefore we never saw it. Let's give another reason why I like playing these old simulators is because it's a test of strategy too. Because it's kind of like, oh, did you get lost? Can you find your way back? Why, yes I can. Because I got lost many a times. Is it me, or is there a glide slope for the Moline? That's weird. It's not at the airport, so why is the VSI here moving? I don't know. Adjustments. Okay, let's set our altitude and bring it a little bit lower. We'll set it at 2,500 feet. Found it. There it is. Now the question is there an ILS for this thing? I'm going to find out here. Going back to our map here, and for Moline, it appears that there is an ILS. ILS frequency. Runway 9, I'm assuming. And we even have ATIS. Alright. Let's get ILS tuned in here. 110.5. One 110.5. 10 miles, okay. And it's runway 9. Oh, we're heading in the right direction then, that's for sure. Alright, let's turn our autopilot off. Get some flaps down. Looks like we're just kind of bouncing up and around in the sky here. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get lined up. I think I kind of see the runway that we need. I think we need to pull over here. See, I think the runway is right here. Yep, right there. Quad City. Yep, this is definitely it. Well, technically we're not on the glide slope, but the lights, they're flashing and they're blinking and I can't stand it anymore. Come on. Whew. All right. We were lost for a little bit, but we found our way. We'll come over here to the intersection of runways. It's like an asterisk mark from up above. It's like everything like meets here in the center. It's the galactic hub. You know what? I saw a taxiway over in this direction. Oh, and there's fuel. Okay, good. The little brown thing is fuel. My soapbox. My soapbox of fuel. Okay, cool. So there we are. We are here at Quad City. Yay! I was getting a little worried there. We were just kind of flying off. I was wondering how far off we were. But we only passed it about, what, 10 miles or so. So it wasn't too bad. We turned around and we got landed. So cool. All right. That's the fun thing about these old simulators. You never know where you quite end up if you're not paying attention. Anyway, well, thanks for watching, and be sure to check out this and the other flight simulators. They'll look more visually interesting, but they may not be as exciting as this was, since we got lost and had to find our way back. And those later flight simulators, you have a GPS and an EFIS and all the other stuff to, like, oh, I'll just take a look. Oh, there's my guide. There's my red path. I just need to follow that. Not in these, man. They're not in this one. All right. Well, thanks for watching, and hope to see you on the next Amiga video. See you later. If you thought this flight was interesting, then you might want to check it out on these other flight simulators that you see on your screen. It's just a fun way to relive old memories and see how things changed over the years. Be sure to subscribe to be notified of any new videos, and I'll see you on the next flight.